Hi, I'm Pete, socket designer at Blue Ice, and today I'd like to introduce you to the redesigned Choucas Pro harness. The Choucas Pro is one of the most versatile harnesses in our range. It lives right on the line between the rock and alpine collections, and it's a lightweight jack of all trades that sees action year-round, whether it's on hard alpine rock, technical ski mountaineering, fast and light rock climbing, everything in between. With this redesign, we really wanted to keep the lightweight and great packability of the original Choucas Pro, but really push the performance further up a notch. Users have been pushing this harness into steeper and steeper terrain year-round, so we felt like now was the time to update it, really push the performance in vertical terrain, and increase the winter performance of it as well. Whilst it's similar in concept to the original Choucas Pro, this was a ground-up redesign. From the patterns to the bar tacks, the only things that carried forward from the original design were the edge binding and the aluminium toggles. Every other aspect has been optimized to make it fit, climb and carry better. The waist belt webbing has been increased to an 18mm tubular webbing, and that's combined with our hot forged speed buckle borrowed from the Questa series to give smooth, effortless size adjustments. The secondary benefit of this is that the upper tie-in point also becomes chunkier, and we've increased the reinforcement on the upper and lower tie-in points to make for a stiffer, easier to tie in loop and increase the durability of this critical part of the harness. Rounding out the front of the harness is a new ultralight version of our Magic Ring. This uses 70 complete turns of Dyneema yarn for the structural elements, which are protected by an all-new variable density HDPE sheath for increased abrasion performance. And we've also upgraded all the stitching in that part to use Dyneema thread to further increase the durability. Moving back around the harness, one of the biggest changes you'll notice is to the gear loops. So racking performance is typically an area where lightweight harnesses in this class are pretty limited. We worked super hard to maximize how well this thing racks and carries gear. We've developed these 3/4 overmolded gear loops. The idea with these was to try and gain a lot of the great shape and clipping performance of an overmolded loop, but without adding the compromise and bulk and packability that comes with a really stiff 3D formed loop. These guys clip really nicely and rack really well, but they remain really supple and packable when the time comes to throw the harness in your pack. We've moved all of our We've moved all of our gear loop insertions to the bottom edge of the harness. This combines with the new waist belt patterning to mean that even when these are fully loaded with gear, they're not going to deform the belt, which can lead to compromises in the comfort of the harness. At the back, we went with a pair of engineered variable webbing loops, just so that they interact better with the pack. And we've added a new central clippable loop to the belt to allow a tagline to be trailed easily. As this is a 4-season harness for us, we put a lot of work into considering how it racks winter gear as well. We've come up with a new solution for our ice screw clipper slots that really improve how well this thing racks ice screws. So the Choucas can take a set of 4 ice clipper loops, and these are now positioned between the front and rear gear loops. This means that even with a full set of screws racked, you don't compromise the racking of your 2 gear loops, giving you capacity to rack up with a full set of everything you would need for a spicy day out in winter. Final winter upgrade is we've added, by popular request, ice screw elastics to both legs of the harness. This means when you're in glacier travel mode, you have a loop there to manage the shaft of your screw, stop it getting involved with your nice Gore-Tex pants. And by having that on both sides, you can choose left or right or carry 2 screws, which is current best practice, I think. While we're talking about leg loops, these remain openable as before using our patented toggle and elastic system, which offers best-in-class security and absolute peace of mind when you're climbing. An improvement we've made for this year is the loop itself is now formed from a tubular braided webbing and features a stiffening bar tack that helps keep that loop open, which makes a huge difference to how easy the system is to open and close, especially with cold hands or when wearing gloves. So both the leg loops and the waist belt have been completely reshaped and repatterned for improved hanging comfort for belays or rappels. And our new fabric complex, combined with our improved stiffeners, offer an increase in breathability and improved durability compared to the previous version. The new shape and stiffeners greatly reduce the chance of the harness rolling, folding or collapsing when it's loaded. This is a harness that's far more comfortable than it looks, massively outperforms its weight in comfort terms. So speaking of weight, the new harness is basically the same weight as the old one, so 140 to 160 grams depending on your size, and the great pack size is also the same. And that's it for the Choucas Pro. A lot more harness for the same weight, more durable, more comfortable, and truly optimized for 4-season life in vertical terrain.